Okay, so in the last lesson we looked at shell chords and how to give a bit of a different texture to your music. Now in this lesson I want to look at comping. Now comping is what you do when you're in a band and somebody else is taking a solo or singing. So you've got a guitarist, you've got a bass player, so you're not going to do the stuff down here. But you're also not soloing at the moment because that would be too much. You don't want to distract from what the soloist is doing. So this is what you do with your right hand when you're not soloing. So your left hand is going to be either doing the chord or the shell chords. Up to you. Depends. For the moment, we'll just do the ninth chords. Now, what do you do with your right hand? Well, first thing to say is that in this particular style, when you're doing comping, your hands work together as like one big hand, as if you had a one big 10-fingered hand. So rhythmically, your right hand is exactly the same as the left hand. Now, what you're going to do, we'll start this simply. You're going to pick, we're going to use the root and the fifth. Okay, the root and the fifth from whatever chord we're playing. So we're going to we're going to obviously be doing C, so we're going to use C and we're going to use G. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Depending on where your hand is placed and what sound you want, you're going to double one of those notes, i.e. you're going to play it in another octave as well. So you could either choose to double the C and play it there, so you have the C and the G and the C, or you could decide, well actually I want to have a C and a G and I want to have another G. And this depends on the sound that you want. They give a very different sound, and I'll show you in a second with both hands. So if you play those together, both hands together with C, G and C, you get this. Okay, or if I move up to the two Gs, to have two Gs there and the C in the middle. Okay, both are nice. And it depends what you're looking for, really. It depends on the sound that you want. The next thing is to think, well, what's coming next? The chord of F is coming next. So same principle, but we're going to try and not move the hand too much. So the left hand's going to go to the chord of F9, and meanwhile the right hand's going to find the root. Now the root is F, which is there, and the fifth is the C. Now we've already got two C's there, if you can see that. Okay, so we've moved from two C's and a G, which was the two roots and a fifth, to now one root and two fifths, because the F is now the root and the C is the fifth. Okay, so we can do this, watch, very slowly, move from that to that. So our right hand is kind of playing a couple of notes from the chord, not all of them. This works equally well, by the way, if you're just doing the shells in the left hand, so you can go, and when you've got the whole lot playing, the whole band playing together with the backing track, then that'll sound great. And then you also use some syncopation. So you might go, for example, something like that. When it comes to the G, you're not a million miles away from the G. So you've got your G9 in the left hand like that. And then you've got to look at what's common already. So we've got a G already here. So that's the root. And we're almost on the fifth. We're on the fourth at the moment, so we need to move the C to a D, which is the fifth, and we'll move both C's to the D's. So we're going to go to there like that. Okay, so we can go from the G and then down a tone to the F and back to C. Okay. I'm going to give you an example of what that sounds like with a backing track, and I'll do it twice, first time with the chords, second time with the shells. This time with the shells. spot the deliberate mistake there. One of my hands went slightly out when it didn't. My right hand played before my left hand. But never mind, we all make mistakes occasionally. So that's what you can do. Obviously, that sounds great when you've got a sax player playing over or a guitarist playing over. That starts to sound really, really quite professional then. So that's kind of the first series of the blues finished with. I'm going to show you one more lesson on how to put all of that stuff together, how you might go about building up a whole sequence. But that's the next lesson.